Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 14 in our 20 from 1991 series, and this is an awesome racing game by Sega called Radmobile. This was actually released in Japan in 1990, but everywhere else in 1991, so I'll call it 1991. It had a typical steering wheel, brake, gas pedal for controls, but it also had two buttons controlling windshield wipers and headlights. There was also a two-player cabinet called RAD RALLY, and this was the first appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yup, he was in this game before he had his own Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog game, and he is a kind of like a keychain that hangs from your rearview mirror. This game is just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful for 1990-91. Just wonderful. And it's fun to play, but where it got its criticism was the steering. And yeah, you can feel it's kind of off. I went into calibration or analog steering wheel in MAME and tried to make it a little easier for myself, but it was still really difficult to get used to. There are 20 rounds, as they call them, and even though that's 20, they're pretty short, so it's not a long slog. And each round represents or is represented by a U.S. city, and you see the Sonic keychain swinging about as you drive. Very, very cool. And like, excuse me, and like I was saying, there is a button for headlight and a button for windshield wipers. You will not be able to use that other than only in certain circumstances. See, we already got into round 2, so the stages are short, or the rounds. Yikes. Sometimes that is the only part that I know of where there is traffic crossing the street in front of you. Sometimes there will be a notice saying that there is traffic coming behind you. And yeah, there will be traffic coming at you here and there, so watch out. There's no gear shift. That can slow you down, running right into a vehicle. But oftentimes the collision detection is way skewed in your favor. So oftentimes you will just drive right through a car. The graphics just, wow. For 1991, I think they're super impressive. And here is the notice to say, press your headlight button. I didn't do that yet. I did that a little bit later. There aren't very many stages where you have to press the headlight button or the windshield wiper button, and you really don't have to. But sometimes your view will be obscured a little bit by the rain for the windshield wiper button. Now there might be certain shortcuts you can take, like an alternate lane, and I don't know exactly where those areas are. I definitely remember them in later racing games. Yeah, the 90s are when racing games really started to impress, like Daytona USA or Sega Rally Championship or Ridge Racer. Now note that there is a rank that you have. Oh, and yeah, sometimes there will be cops right behind you, and you have to outrun them. Don't slow down, or they'll pull you over. And the cop smashes your windshield. What a dick! It doesn't really have any effect on your driving. He can also shoot you, and that doesn't do anything either. But what a corrupt cop! Well, I ran out of time. You don't get checkpoints per se. You will get your time restored once you clear a stage, or a round as they call it. That is Rad Mobile. I keep wanting to say Rad Rally, but that is the two-player cabinet. We will have a brief look at that later. But in a moment we will pick up basically where I left off. You need to put in 2 credits to start your game, and you can continue, and that'll only cost you 1 credit, but that'll start you back at the beginning of the round that you left off on. See, you have to outrun the cops, or they will pull you over, and they will cost you like 10 seconds of time, and that sucks. Like I said, the cop can either smash your windshield or smash your hood by punching it. What a strong motherfucker. Or it can shoot you, which, you know, doesn't kill the driver or anything. But the cities that the rounds take place in are Los Angeles, the Mojave Desert, Las Vegas, Provo, Salt Lake City. There's some enthusiastic squealing by the driver sometimes. The Rocky Mountains, Cheyenne, Lincoln, Omaha, Kansas City, St. Louis, Springfield, Chicago, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Washington, Philadelphia, and New York is where the last stage takes place, or the last round. And see where it says rank? That's just the number of cars that are ahead of you. And you get a little indicator sound when you pass a car, and you will see a little marking above them saying like a competitor car or something. I can't remember what it says, or maybe it says rival or something. And yeah, there will sometimes be a notice saying beware of oncoming car. I did, for the most part, a playthrough. I skipped through a couple parts. And now we have this really bumpy road here, unimproved road. And it's really raining hard, so I've got my windshield wipers going. I think that's a really, really cool thing to add on, is the windshield wipers and the headlights. Sometimes other rival cars will be incapacitated, and you can pass them easily. They might be pulled over because their engine's smoking or something. Now, one thing that really annoys me is if you bump into something, you'll hear this really annoying noise. I don't know a damn thing about cars, so maybe if that's like a real life sound from the engine or something, maybe you can leave a comment and let me know. But yeah, I don't know dick about cars. I put on, by this point, as you probably noticed at the top center, infinite time cheat. Because I just wanted to zip through the stages as quickly as I could. Yeah, you do not have to finish the game in first place. You just have to make it through each round before the time elapses. You do get like a special screen. It's not all that special, saying that you finished in first place. I'm not nearly good enough to get in first place. If I put on an invincibility or infinite time type of cheat, I'm gonna throw caution to the wind. I'm not gonna care. I'll slam into rails or whatever. I just want to get through the game as quickly as I can with minimal effort or concentration. Yeah, that noise is super annoying. I'm gonna hear it in my sleep. But yeah, if you see a notice on the screen that says car approaching from behind or something, that's going to be a cop car. So keep the speed going, or else you'll get pulled over and lose 10 seconds of time. And you'll get a corrupt dick cop either bashing your hood or shooting at you. Maybe they're arresting somebody else. Uh-oh, nope, there's one right behind me. Ah, crap. He's gonna pull me over. Yep, you are under arrest by a crooked cop.
Hey, walk behind me.
There, he shot me. That dickhead cop makes another appearance at the end of the game. I do not recall if I saw this. It might have kind of slipped beneath my notice at an arcade I was in. But this is really cool for 1990/91. And like I said, it was released in Japan in 1990, but released everywhere else in 1991, so I'm just going to kind of consider it 1991. Someone might have requested that I do this at one point. I don't think I ever got around to it. But I really like the looks of this. I think this is so cool looking. I'm not particularly great at racing games, but I was able to get through 4 stages without any kind of cheating whatsoever. And then after one playthrough, I was just like, yeah, screw it. I just want to get through the stages as quickly as I can. But yeah, RAD RALLY is the 2-player simultaneous play version of this, and you saw the, here's the cops again behind me. And now we're driving on railroad tracks. And to the right of me is a train. I don't think you can steer all the way into the train's path and get crushed by the train. I was always a big fan of trying to kill myself in video games. It just cracked me up for some reason. When Tomb Raider was brand new and I got it for the PlayStation, I would find the highest ledge to jump off and make Lara Croft scream several times before she landed in a crunchy heap. Yeah, you'll lose a second if you bash directly into a car, unless the collision detection was super friendly, and it often is. God, that's freaking annoying. Oh, and look at that freaking ship. That's really freaking cool. God, the graphics just unbelievable for 1991, I think. It's just the steering just doesn't feel right. And yeah, that was the big complaint when this was released by a lot of game reviewers. There's like a couple stages where the road is pretty narrow. But it won't last terribly long. There's another tunnel where I can use my headlights. Oh, that's so freaking annoying. It's like sounds like a motorbike being cranked or something, or revved. Yeah, the Sonic swinging back and forth doesn't entirely jive with how you turn the car or bash into things. It just kind of swings the same way throughout, I think. Well, I remember when I first got Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game, I just could not put it down. It still is cool. It still really stands the test of time. I think the best game in the series is the second one. The third one had really eye-popping graphics for its time. But I think the second one was just overall the best Sonic game. And there's another crooked cop on my tail. Will I be able to outrun him? Hey, so far so good. I think I did. Just need to outrun him for a little while. And then I think he won't be able to catch up to you. Whoops. And here is round 16. Only 4 more to go. But yeah, the game ends at New York. I'm trying to remember how many of these cities I've been to. Or one of them's not a city. One's just called Rocky Mountains. I've been to LA. I don't think I've been to the Mojave Desert. Oh, that one's not a city. I've been to Las Vegas. Haven't been to Provo. I think I was briefly at Salt Lake City. Cheyenne I've actually been to, I think. Lincoln, no. Omaha, no. Kansas City. I might have made a brief stopover between flights in Kansas City. Or maybe it was St. Louis, I don't remember. Springfield I've never been to. Chicago I went a handful of years ago. Great pizza. Oh my god, great pizza. Great deli shops. Other than that, I wasn't really crazy about the city. It's kind of dirty and scuzzy. And I did like the tall buildings. They were pretty cool. We stayed right by the Willis Tower. Indianapolis I've never been to. Cincinnati, I just had to stop over there. My dad and I went to a Chili's at the airport, and the staff were so slow that we almost missed our flight heading back to Portland. we had to really run. Columbus I've never been to, Pittsburgh I've never been to, Washington D.C. I've never been to, Philly I've never been to, and New York I've only stayed at, I've only been to Buffalo. Great deli shop called Charlie the Butcher that my brother and I stopped at on our way to a preseason Buffalo Bills game. I was fortunate enough to see a couple Bills games. One was in Seattle where they kicked the living crap out of the Seahawks. That was awesome. And we are almost to round 20. You cannot fly off the edge of a road. You will not be allowed to. You will somehow crash into something. Yeah, look for that little word. I think it says rival over a car, and that'll change your ranking if they pass by you or if you pass by them. You'll get a little sound effect. It doesn't matter how you place at the end. If you are, dickhole cop. Well, skip past that. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you rank at the end. There will be a little bit of difference, a brief screen of the Statue of Liberty, and it'll say last stage here. It'll say something like, "Congratulations, you're in first place," and that's really all. So nothing special. If you forget to press the button for a windshield wiper or headlights, then there'll be a little indicator in the bottom right telling you to do it. And again, you really don't absolutely have to, but it can help you. And here is the end of Radmobile. And you see the cop again, and what in the actual hell? He explodes and turns it to a model. What in the world? Freaking weird. But this is the end of Radmobile. And I get a Mr. Corrupt Cop here. And I finished 27th. Whoopee! Just about last place. That was terrible. Oh well. That is Radmobile, and we'll see a screenshot of the of if you made first place, and it shows Statue of Liberty. Dynamite, you finished first. You are the one and only top rad. Congratulations. Well, now we're going to take a brief look at Rad Rally, the two-player cabinet version of Radmobile. It's a little different. There are 4 different stages that you can drive on, and you will see the second player, and it says special over it, I believe. And you have a meter that will fill up the closer that you get to your goal, so it's a little bit different. And the only rival you have is that second player. I guess depending on how you do in the race, you can earn a free game.
Hey, you'll never catch me.
That's the Rad Rally version. And that was Radmobile, game number 14 in our 20 from 1991 series, created by Sega in 1990/91. This is Crazy Climber saying thanks for watching. Hope you join me soon for game number 13. Bye-bye, folks.